My entitled neighbor tried to get me evicted, but accidentally got me a massive government grant.
Supervisor Karen Holt held up a citation form before she'd even stepped inside. "We have documented complaints going back 4 months, she said flatly. Vehicles parked on both sides of the street, people coming and going at all hours, equipment being carried in. This is zoned single-family residential." I looked past her at the 14 people sitting in folding chairs around my converted garage. Some of them were already reaching for their coats. "Let them stay," I said. "Please." They drove here. Officer Reyes asked everyone to remain calm while the supervisor conducted her inspection. Holt moved through the space making notes. The long folding tables, the blood pressure cuffs, the plastic bins labeled with people's names, the standing whiteboard covered in medication schedules and dietary charts. "What is this equipment registered under?" she asked. "It's not registered," I said. "It's donated." She looked up. "Donated for what purpose?" "I'm a retired ER nurse," I said. "This is a free chronic disease management clinic for uninsured adults. We meet 3 times a week." Holt stopped writing. My neighbor Gerald had been filing complaints since February. I knew it was him. He told me directly in January that the street parking was ruining his property value and that whatever I was doing in my garage needed to stop. I told him I'd ask people to park around the block. He told me that wasn't the point. That's when I understood the complaints were never really about parking. Holt asked to see my documentation. I brought her 2 binders. Intake forms, consent waivers, coordination letters from 2 county health departments and a federally qualified health center that referred patients to me when their waitlists ran over 8 weeks. Lab result logs I helped patients transport to their primary care appointments. She read quietly for a long time. Officer Reyes had been speaking with a few of the patients near the door. An older man named Earl told him he'd been managing his diabetes without consistent monitoring for 3 years before finding the clinic. A woman named Doris said her last A1C result was the first one in range since her diagnosis. "How long has this been running?" Holt asked. 22 months, I said. "How many patients?" I checked my intake log. 214 unique individuals. About 60 regulars. Her pen had stopped moving entirely. That's when Reyes walked back in and spoke quietly to Holt. He turned to face her with something that had shifted in his expression. "The noise complaints in the file," he said. 17 of them were filed between 6 and 8 p.m. on Tuesday and Thursday evenings. He paused. "Those are your clinic nights?" "Yes," I said. Reyes looked at Holt. The complainant told dispatch on 3 separate calls that he believed the resident was running a scam targeting elderly people. He said it evenly, without editorial. He didn't need to add anything. Gerald was still standing at the end of my driveway with his arms crossed, watching. Holt closed the second binder. She walked to the garage entrance and looked at the patients, some of whom had quietly returned to their chairs, a few of them watching her with the careful stillness of people accustomed to waiting for decisions to be made about them. She turned to Gerald. "The activity occurring here is consistent with recognized charitable health services. It does not meet the threshold for commercial zoning violation." She looked at her clipboard. "The eviction referral is being closed without action." Gerald's jaw tightened. "You're telling me this is just allowed?" "Yes," Holt said. "It is." She handed me a card before she left. "County Community Health Liaison. Told me to call Monday morning because there was a grant cycle opening that my program appeared to qualify for." I closed the garage door after everyone left that evening. 14 people had their blood pressure checked. 3 had medication questions answered. 2 went home with referral letters I'd spent an hour drafting. Gerald's porch light was on. His curtains were moving. I turned off the garage light and went inside. Monday, I made the call.